Hello there, this is Pete Howard and PosterCentral.com's video blog. Thanks for coming by today. This is, of course, one of the most famous posters to ever come out of San Francisco. The poster artist was Lee Conklin, and I think it's generally regarded as his masterpiece. I mean, you've seen the image. It's just very famous poster from the summer of 1968. And, you know, at first blush, I think a lot of people think that this is a Santana concert poster. But that's, that's far from the truth. I mean, it's partly a Santana concert poster, but it's also a Grateful Dead concert poster, and Sons of Champlin, and Steppenwolf, and Staple Singers, and everything else. It's only because Santana took this image and used it for their album the following year that, Santana is so closely associated with this image. But it's the thing I like about it is it's not like a piece of killer artwork was wasted on just one show or one or two shows. This piece of killer artwork was spread over 6 concerts at the Fillmore West, so that's kind of like some relief that it was so well used. The 6 concerts again were at the Fillmore West, and that was only about a month after Bill Graham had converted that venue from the Carousel Ballroom and was calling it the Fillmore West. Depressingly now, it's a Honda dealer if you go there. It's really a drag to walk by and see that Honda dealer. But inside they show a lot of handbills and stuff and everything. They try to maintain some spirit for all the tourists who come looking for the old Fillmore West. But anyway, so this was actually 6 dates. And 3 of the dates were headlining Steppenwolf, and that made perfect sense because they had Born to Be Wild was a giant hit in '68, and the Staple Singers were below Steppenwolf, and then there's Santana down their 3rd build. But again, it was a year before their first album came out, for which they used this Lee Conklin image. And then on the other side you have the Grateful Dead with 3 nights, and they're interesting timing because their second album, Anthem of the Sun, had just hit the Billboard charts this very week. In fact, that sort of raises a question, never mind Anthem of the Sun. In '69, the Grateful Dead would use a famous poster image for an album cover as well, and that being Oxa Moxa, of course. So now this Santana show is from August of '68, and the image appeared on their album cover September of '69, so that's 13 months later. The Grateful Dead, on the other hand, had the poster image appear later, but the album appear sooner. Oxa Moxa, the poster was Jan '69, and the LP was June of '69, a much shorter window, but it raises the question, who had the idea first to take a great San Francisco concert poster image that was going to be just thrown away or sold as reprints after the shows were over and actually turn it into a permanent fixture with an album cover? So I wonder which artist had the idea first, and I'm sure there's a couple of historians out there who would know that, and so it's kind of funny to to just think about that. And another historical note on this, what's wild, is sort of, the lion image and everything, it does sort of have restlessness to it. During Santana's 3-night stand, I should say Steppenwolf's 3-night stand, for which Santana opened, during that time, police and protesters were clashing in Chicago at the Democratic National Convention. All those pictures of, police helmets banging hippies with batons and stuff, that was happening during this show. And finally, it was nicely signed by Lee Conklin. I'll go ahead and zoom in for that image there in silver ink on the black. And whoops, well, it slipped down, so we'll just you have to take my word for it. You can tell until I get it moved back up that Lee signed this, which is really a fun, most poster collectors like to do that, and these artists show up at conventions and sit at a table and sign things, and it's just really a fun thing to do. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. A real key San Francisco concert poster image, one of my favorites ever. And oh, you know something? Let me show you something else regarding this image. This was actually from '69 when the album came out, and you'd think I had this all well planned, but I almost forgot. This is a Columbia Records large paper promo poster for Santana's first album. I'm just displaying it so professionally, aren't I? It's in this holder because paper posters can be very unwieldy. But notice how cool it is. It shows the Santana album cover. There we go, pretty well centered, right? That's the first album cover. And it's inside the jaws of the lion in a bigger image. So it's, I'm being crowded out of the vid, but that's okay. I don't need me, and I know you don't. Actually, back up further. So it does say on Columbia Records down there somewhere, so I can show you that. See that on Columbia Records? And interestingly, when I show this to poster collectors, everybody's seen the Lee Conklin poster, nobody's seen this. because these things were so darn disposable. They were just thrown away, you know, after the, you know, when Abraxas came out, the second album or something, if the record store hadn't already thrown it away, they were sure throwing it away then. And in fact, this is the only one I think I've seen in collecting promo posters basically since the 70s, so a fun aspect. So I hope you enjoyed the the two-part Lee Conklin Classic Lion Image Show and Tell today, and thanks a lot for coming by. Have a good day.